Hi, welcome to Route 66. It's Greg Burdine, and hopefully you're enjoying your Bible reading, daily Bible reading. Sometimes we have a lot of Bible reading by chapter. Sometimes we only have a couple. Today, we only have a couple of chapters to read. 1 Samuel chapter 14 and 15. So let's get right at it. 1 Samuel chapter 14, we meet Jonathan for the first time. Jonathan is King Saul's son, destined to be the next king. And he and his armor bearer, they were fighting the Philistines, and there was a great victory between the two of them. Jonathan was just such a good, wonderful person and a good military man. Meanwhile, Saul had made a foolish oath that nearly cost Jonathan his life. It was crazy. This chapter shows the difference between Jonathan's faith and Saul's growing instability as a leader. Lesson that we can learn from this: God honors bold faith. He really does. To say, you know what, I think God can. We find this in David. We find this in Peter. We find this in many people throughout the Bible. When they stepped out and did things great for God, it was almost like God said, if you're willing to take a risk for me, I'm willing to go with you. But it also shows rash leadership. You know, when leaders do this and do this and do this and do this without thinking. And Saul was very much becoming that way. Now, verse 15, or chapter 15 of 1 Samuel, we find probably one of the lowest points in Saul's life. He directly disobeys God, and he is rejected as the king. If you recall yesterday, through some of his actions, his kingdom would not last. It would not be a dynasty, and now he's rejected. God had commanded Saul to destroy the Amalekites, and Saul partially obeyed them, but he spared the king. Don't know exactly why he decided to spare the king, but he decided to spare him and some of the best livestock. And he said, well, I want to make sacrifices. I want to do this. And Samuel confronted him, and he said, to obey is better than sacrifice. You might have had good intentions, but God said to obey me. And partial obedience is disobedience. And Saul was rejected as the king. And that's the lesson. Partial obedience is really disobedience. We need to obey God totally. So 2 chapters today. Hopefully you enjoyed. Great stories throughout